My name is Absurd547, and this is the beginning to my YouTube channel. My channel will be used primarily for gaming. I may go in some other directions. I'm still trying to figure out what voice I'm going for. But for my first game, I have chosen one of my personal favorites, the Stanley Parable. Alright, let's get this show on the road.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Yeah.
Something was very clearly
That was a very
wrong.
good transition.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright. So, as you guys may know, the Stanley Parable is a choice-based game. It's one of the greatest of its kind. Basically, the narrator will tell you what to do, and you have the choice to obey or disobey. There's so many small little endings that you can get, and it's pretty great, I have to admit. So let's get into it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
The story. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! Looks like it's still recording, so I guess we must continue on. So, for my first walkthrough, I am going to be primarily doing as he tells us. So, I'm gonna get the true ending, and then maybe I'll branch out to the rest, because there are a lot of endings you can get. Ooh. This right here, this choice, is the most iconic of the Stanley Parable. This is what starts it all. This piece of dialogue specifically just gives me chills every time I hear it.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The first choice. Like I said, I'm gonna be obeying because why not? No, it's actually because some of the other endings depend on this ending, so it would kind of suck if we just got a spoiler and then it's just like, oh well, I've seen this.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So many things I want to read. Oh gosh, so here's the thing. So what I would love to read all of these, but don't know if I have the time to do so for this episode at least. Yeah, I'm gonna... Actually, speaking of, I probably should set a timer so that I know. I'll just skip past this in editing. Timer, not timer. Stopwatch? That's what I want. Alright. Let's continue. I'm not going in there yet, guys. But it's coming. You're just gonna have to stick with me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, by the way, yes, I have played this before. Just repeating that. So, if I start doing something before he says to do it... Where was that computer? Nothing, don't pay attention to that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh yeah, I couldn't have possibly known that. Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna just have to look around. Look for another way in. Because, what was it?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full 2845.
Wow. He's really like getting aggressive here. I think that's the end of the dialogue.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Every single time I play this game, I find new stuff. Holy cow, I had no idea. I had no idea the narrator would do that. That's precious. Alright. Let's get on with the story. Oh, for those of you who are wondering, yes. That is a washing machine and a dryer. This is our laundry room. Just ignore the fact that this is the laundry room and just pretend like this is some like cool recording studio.
Into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
It would not go unanswered for long. Oh. Someone should probably fix that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
How stupid would you have to be as a secret organization to put in giant, absolutely blinding letters, Mind Control Facility. And then right here, just in red, escape. That's precious. That's real precious. By the way, there's no jumping in this game. There's kind of a reason for that, but we'll get to that later. What the heck? Those are a lot of numbers. Is there a zoom in? Maybe.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, that's how you crouch.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Dolby Atmos, surround sound, by the looks of it. It's like what they had before they had like the 3D camera and VR goggles. You would just look around and the TV screens would all be there.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an
number
employee
104
in the
and
Stanley's
603 was that?
coworkers.
603,
The lives
602?
of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
427,
nothing.
where freedom meant nothing. That's one heck of a message. Alright, let's get the lift.
This mind
104
control
and
facility, it was too horrible to
601
believe
was
it couldn't be true.
427. Where am
Had
I?
Stanley really been under
Oh,
someone's
there I
control
am.
all this time? Was this the only
Wow.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
427, that's me, guys. That's me. Some of these confuse me, though. Those are just filing cabinets. What are they trying to watch? Employee 327, do they live in the file cabinets? I mean, I guess they could just do files. But, like, some of these, like, make even less sense. Like, that's the stairway right there, 442. Wait till it comes around again. That's just the... Did that just... Okay, first 442. Okay, first of all, 442. That, like, what I was gonna say, that's a stairwell. They just live in the stairwell? I don't know. Second of all, the doors behind me just opened, and that means that there's a... Oh my goodness. I haven't done that. I've never done that. I've never seen that. Gosh, it's a good thing I'm doing this. Gosh, I'm so tempted. You know what? I'm gonna continue on. We'll get to that later. You know, like we'll make it. Keep on looking at that screen instead of the actual camera.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
This
His
is a
own
cool
life
elevator.
in someone else's control? Never.
Why are elevators
It was
not more
unthinkable,
like this?
wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent
I mean,
his
seriously?
entire life?
Look at this elevator,
utterly
like how the doors
blind to the
revolve
world?
around you. We need more elevators like that. They're all just like boring boxes, and it's like, well, I mean, sure, it's cool, but like, if it's a cylinder, like a 1 or like 3 person, if I ever have a personal elevator, that's how I'm making it, because boxes are boring.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or
up
sad
here?
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never
What?
again exert its terrible power
I'm not
over
sure.
another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once
I haven't played this in
and
a long
for
time, so
all.
like, what's that red button? I hope that red button does something. Is this the red button that like shuts it down, or do I have to keep on going? Because I feel like the red button would logically be the shut off button, right? I'm not crazy. Maybe I am crazy. I think I'm crazy. 5, okay. So I'm guessing there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 3. Here's the 1 and the 2. But is there a 0? Because if there's a 0, then I think the codes on the wall might be helpful in some way. Because there wouldn't be... So we have the 5, we have the 3, 4 is up there. But I'm not seeing a 0. Do you guys see a 0 anywhere? Another button, a 0 button? Because I don't know what the code would be. Here's a door. That was something. Let's see. Okay. Before I proceed with this, guys, if you're watching this and you're extremely intrigued by the game, go get the game. Play it yourself. It is so precious. I mean, why would you watch a walkthrough instead of actually playing the game? That's just crazy, right? Unless if it's like you don't want to be a.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Well, here we are, on or off. Oh gosh. Every single time he says to do something, I want to instinctively do the opposite, but I made a commitment and I have to do this. Blackness. It's a little high pitched there.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
I completely forgot that was the actual dialogue.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This is probably the most, feel-good ending. Probably the only feel-good ending. I'm guessing this is Britain. I think this is a British game. Not sure. No parking. No one's trying. Barn. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's Britain. It's gotta be Britain. Or it's some European country. They don't do stone walls like that anymore.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley was happy. That's such a good ending. That's like a... Oh, achievement unlocked. Sweet. So, that's such a... chilling ending. Every single book or movie in existence should end like that. Call J.K. Rowling, have her edit the last book, and Harry was happy. Or make George Lucas redo the entire Star Wars movie instead of the triumphal end with all the music, and Luke and Leia and etc. was happy. Well, let's see, what other endings can I show you guys? I'm about 20 minutes in. The video is probably going to be a little bit shorter for the sake of time. I'm going to show you guys...
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Wow. There you go. Another thing I forgot to say about the game, it
All of his
changes.
coworkers were gone. What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
How? Okay, so. Oh man, so many things I have to say. Okay, so in this game, there's achievements, really weird ones. Like one's called Go Outside. Don't play like the Stanley Parable for I think it was like 5 years. Another one, Devotion. Play it for the entirety of a Tuesday. Well, one of them is called Unachievable. This achievement is unachievable. And I just got it. I have no idea how that happened. How did I, what, oh, I'm so happy right now. Okay, so another thing, the environment sometimes changes randomly, just to, mess with people. It's pretty great. It's a little bit more of a
Stanley
idle,
went around
but
touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
It just changes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? I think I'm gonna end that episode here. So, what do I do next? I mean, so many different ways for me to go. You know what? How about in the comments, how about you guys tell me which door you want me to enter? If you want me to like continue going to the left, maybe you want me to go down the stairwell, or maybe you want me to, oh man. I really want to escape if I can. Maybe. Anyway, I am gonna end that episode here. Please like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can know when my videos come out and when you can watch them. This is episode 547, signing out.